Hey, everybody. Welcome to Odd and Untold, the podcast where we talk about all things strange and spooky. And we're giving you a bonus episode this week. It's not really a new episode. We have a new introduction here. So would we say like 4% new content?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, maybe not even 4%. I didn't do the math, but I'll say 4%.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounds good.
yeah. So this is a recut of our episode from last year, Thanksgiving horror movies, which we both felt was a great episode.
Yeah, I really
Uh,
liked doing the episode, and but what happened? Apparently, no one saw it. So
Yeah, foolishly, I decided to post it because I post on Fridays. So
yeah,
I posted it the day after Thanksgiving, thinking like,
so
ooh, people are gonna watch this and be like, cool, let me watch some cool Thanksgiving horror movies.
but that's why they have the that saying, "A day late and a dollar short." So nobody cared about Thanksgiving anymore the next day.
Yeah, and yeah, because once it's over, it's over. People are on to Christmas now. And
Sure,
and
and
I think,
we get that. You got to move
yeah,
on.
yeah. So it was just a miscalculation on my part. And I think again on the Friday after Thanksgiving, people are traveling, they're with family,
Yeah,
they're off from work, like they're not doing their normal routine of like watching podcasts and that sort of stuff. And we'd even joked off air, like we used to go see Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
yeah, great
Uh,
shows here in New York.
yeah, we'd see them like December 22nd, December 23rd.
And you would
Uh,
get really amped up for
yes,
Christmas,
oh
which
yeah,
sounds kind of funny, but it was like, yes,
yeah, like
Christmas.
fucking heavy metal Christmas music, and
Yeah.
then there was that one year where they changed their schedule and they weren't coming to New
Yeah.
York until like December 28th. And we were just like, fuck that. We're not going to them.
Yeah. No.
Because who wants Christmas music two
I
days after
mean,
Christmas?
right. It's already over. So,
Yeah. So this became one of our lowest viewed, watched, listened to episodes ever. It's not the lowest one. I'm not going to say
thank
which one
God.
is. Thank God.
Yeah.
It,
No,
it
no.
kind of,
Because if you say what's the lowest, then people are going to go watch that one. And
yeah. So you guys can figure that out if you want. But John and I do a lot of like horror movie themed episodes, and they all do very well. And this one just didn't. And like I said, I think, like you said, a day late and a dollar short. So
yeah. And there's
um,
some good movies here. Some, not all, but
some,
there's
not
some good
all.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would have done like another Thanksgiving horror movie episode, but I think anything we would have found would have been like sequels to these,
Yeah.
or
There's not
and
a lot out
there's
there.
there's not a lot to choose from anyway. So you'd be doing like two sequels to the movies that we're talking about in this episode that nobody saw. So
Right. Not even
uh,
us.
not even us.
Yeah.
So yeah, some really good horror movies here. So I'm posting this a few days before Thanksgiving to give everybody a chance who is still in the Thanksgiving mood to go out and watch these horror movies if you want to watch them. You don't have to watch them before Thanksgiving, but at least you'll be aware of them. Versus last year when everybody had just checked out and had moved into Christmas. So not going to talk about those movies here. We're just doing a quick, short introduction here to give you the 4% new content. So to
Yeah, we
appease
had to
the
give you something.
yes, to appease the audience and the YouTube gods, YouTube algorithm. And I'm
Oh,
going to
there's
put the
this a special bonus you said also at the end.
yeah, I'm going to put the new Riversend song "Always Searching" at the end. So stay tuned for that to listen to that. It's a really cool song. They do our theme music, so the music you hear in the beginning is Moonlight, and then at the end I'm going to put "Always Searching," which is an awesome song that's like stuck in my head. And Riversend is awesome. Uh, so yeah, without further ado, do you have anything else you want to add to this 4% new content introduction?
No, I just hope everyone actually watches this episode. Maybe when you're cooking, and maybe you get to watch some of these films. I don't think any of them are really family friendly, but if you're hanging out with your friends and you just want to laugh or maybe get a little scared, check these movies out. You'll have a
Yeah,
good
there's some
time.
cool stuff. There's UFOs, there's killer robots, there's psychotic
Killer,
foul-mouthed killer turkey.
killer turkeys,
Uh,
all sorts of things.
yeah, so really good stuff. So if you're one of the like six people who watched the episode originally, we hope you enjoy this new introduction. And if you haven't seen it before, please enjoy. This is one of our favorite episodes. We had a lot of fun making it, as we always do.
Hmm.
But happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We're
Happy
thankful to all
Thanksgiving.
of you. I'm thankful to my
Absolutely.
buddy John for taking time out of his very busy schedule because he's crazy busy lately to do
Very
this
busy.
silly intro to a silly episode. Uh, but yeah, so enjoy, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you in December.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Odd and Untold, the podcast where we talk about all things strange and spooky. And today, if you're listening, it's the day after Thanksgiving. So we hope you guys all had an awesome turkey day and turkey hangover today, probably. And if you want some Thanksgiving horror movies, I have my buddy John here. We're going to talk about some Thanksgiving horror movies because we've done Halloween horror movies, we've done Christmas horror movies, uh, we've done 4th of July horror movies.
4th of July was really good.
Yeah, so we're kind of hitting all the holidays, and it being Thanksgiving, I thought we'd do some Thanksgiving horror movies, and maybe next we'll do like Arbor Day.
Yeah, we keep
Horror
on.
movies.
We have to find days and horror movies,
Yeah,
corresponding ones.
yeah,
We'll be able to
some
do it.
we will, and some
Yeah,
obviously some of these holidays lend themselves more to horror movies than others, and
yeah, of course.
Thanksgiving
Yeah, and
Thanksgiving was a little bit of a challenge, but we found
this was tough.
this was tough, but we found, I mean, Christmas, there's like tons of freaking Christmas
So
horror
many.
movies,
I mean,
and
yeah, and that tradition's been going on since England 19 not 19 1850s, you know. That's why Dickens released A Christmas Carol and he did other ones. I mean, that's just something that they did around the holiday season, you know, write and read
mm-hmm,
horror stories.
right.
And it seems like an odd tradition, but it has reached us. And horror movies often come out on December 24th, 25th. And, you know, so there's so many. It's not even like necessarily holiday themed ones, like Christmas themed ones. It could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, and I remember I think one of the episodes we recorded last year. I think maybe off air you mentioned like Thanksgiving horror movies because there are a few. There's not many,
Yeah.
and some of them are stretches here because like Thanksgiving plays a smaller part in the overall movie, but some of them are like right on the nose. So we have a few of those tonight that we're going to talk about.
Yep.
Varying
So,
quality.
oh yeah, I mean, and that's an understatement, varying
Yeah,
quality. So
yeah,
let's get to it. So
sure.
the first one is called Deadly Friend. This is from 1986 and is directed by Wes Craven. Yes, that Wes Craven, the one and only. And I think this is a fantastic film. I went on a deep dive recently on Wes Craven because I wanted to see all of his films, and I still haven't seen all of them. But this was actually one of the films that I got to see for the first time. So it was sort of brand new to me, and I really liked it. Um, so I think the world of Wes Craven, you know. I think he changed the horror landscape at least three times. With the Last House on the Left back
Mm-hmm.
in 1972, which we were talking off there about movies that we'll never watch again. I will never watch that movie again. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen bits and pieces of it, probably like in high school, where it was
Yeah,
like on the TV in the background at
right.
various parties that we went to.
Whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, and someone's like, "Oh, let's put on Last House on the Left." It's 1 in the morning, and we're
yeah,
all kind of silly and
yeah.
yeah.
That was a bad idea. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've seen it now, and I'll never watch it again. A Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, changed everything in 1984, and then again, Scream changed everything in 1996.
Hmm.
So the guy, I mean, even with one of those films, preferably the last two, would have cemented his place in horror history. But he did all three of them, and then he did a whole bunch of other films that are fantastic. And this is one of the lesser known films, and I really like it. You know,
Yeah, it's
I don't think it's great, but I do like it.
no, it's not his best, but it's not like offensively bad.
Yeah,
It's kind of quirky.
we'll get to offensively bad pretty soon.
Yes, literally offensively bad.
Yes,
Um,
literally.
I'd seen this movie a bunch of times as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember like when video stores first came out, like this was one of those
Hmm.
movies that you'd always see on the shelf. Like Deadly Friends, like
Always.
the box
Yeah.
art is like emblazoned in my mind.
Yeah.
Um, and just it kind of just runs with that like sort of 80s trope of the robotic friend, like Short
Yeah.
Circuit and like Space Camp and like all those movies,
Or like
Rocky, was it Rocky 4? everybody
Yeah,
kind of had to
Rocky
have like that
4.
robot
Yeah.
friend, oh, Raffle, you know,
Even
and
was it called Small Wonder with
Small
Vicky the
Wonder,
robot?
yeah, there was a
Yeah.
TV show. So yeah,
Yeah.
everything was about like the friendly robot that the genius teenager builds, and it's smart alecky and
And
perhaps wise.
I have to say, his name is BB. And it just made me think even
Mhm.
like the roundness of like BB-8. It's like
Mhm.
what yeah, was this an inspiration for how many different things along the line? Was it sort of ripping off R2D2? Sure. And then BB came around and then he inspired something else.
Yeah.
So it's part of part of the cycle of what happens as far as inspiration goes. And that part of the film, that's the original vision that Wes Craven had, like making a science fiction sort of PG family friendly film. And it was shocking to people because Wes Craven had just uh, made a name for himself yet again with A Nightmare on Elm Street. And this was sort of sandwiched in between two other films, The Hills Have Eyes 2, a sequel to one of his own movies. Um, and he really wanted to do something else. He really wanted to make, like I said, this family-friendly sort of PG film, A Boy and His Robot and The Girl Next Door. And that's what he originally did, but the studio pressured him because this is Wes Craven after all. They said they wanted um, more scenes of gore. So they actually sat down and wrote six more scenes filled with gore and two dream sequences because everybody knew him as from Nightmare on Elm Street,
Mhm.
even if they didn't know his previous catalog. So I filmed it and it became like a completely different type of movie. You can watch the whole first part of it and it's charming. Like BB the robot is just great. He's kind of a combination I found between Gizmo and the Ewoks. I know the Ewoks can be very polarizing, but I mean, it really worked for me. A little Short Circuit there. I don't know if Short Circuit came out before this or after this. I should check. But the robot was really, really charming. We won't tell you what happens to the robot. Um, but then this inciting incident on Thanksgiving. And really, it covers the whole fall season because it's
Mhm.
sort of a back to school movie as well.
Right.
And they crossed into Halloween, and then this, like I said, this inciting incident on Thanksgiving where there's a terrible accident, if you can call it an accident, and this boy genius does something rather rash to help the girl next door. And that's the basic premise of it.
Yeah, and that's kind of where they start inserting some of the horror elements.
Yeah,
Um, and there's, what I remember as a kid was the basketball scene. Um,
that is just amazing. If you've never seen Deadly Friend and you want to see a deadly basketball, we won't say anything else. Spoiler, 38 years later.
yeah.
But it's amazing how they shot it, what
Hmm.
it looks like. I mean, it was just incredible. And you don't see it coming.
Yeah, and it's just weird because, like you said, like the movie, most of this movie is just this sort of charming sci-fi, family-friendly, cutesy movie, and
Yeah.
then it just takes this turn in the third act, and
Oh, it's a turn.
it's a turn, and then yeah, it becomes total Wes Craven, um, which he didn't really want to do, but the studio, like you said, the studio kind of yeah, just
Yeah.
add these scenes of gore and violence, and yeah, it turns into a very different movie. Christy Swanson is in it.
Yeah.
Um, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, many other things.
Yeah, I always think of
Uh,
her as the original Buffy. Though, no one can really compete with Sarah Michelle Gellar as far as I'm concerned, but she did a pretty good job. I
mhm.
mean, the movie's not great, but she did a pretty good job as Buffy, so
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, this movie is perfectly fine for what it is.
yeah.
Um, it's not solely a Thanksgiving movie, but like you said, the kind of pivotal plot point takes
Yeah.
place on Thanksgiving,
And
a
the
few
day
pivotal,
after.
and the day
Yeah.
after. So it
Right. A
is
few of them. There's
a
a
few of
bunch of
them,
things happen on that
right?
day.
But it's all based around Thanksgiving, and it's not as in your face as some of these other movies that we're going to talk about.
Oh God. Yeah.
But like we said, it is hard to find Thanksgiving horror movies. Um, but yeah, I really like this one. And again, I hadn't seen this one since I was a kid. Um, but I enjoyed it for what it was. Again, it's not high cinema. It's not Wes Craven's greatest, but you could do far worse. And we will talk about far worse.
Right. Speaking of bad movies, um, the next film that we're going to be talking about is Thankskilling from 2009. And this is an independent black comedy slasher. It's a lot of different things happening all at the same time. And this one does happen on the Wednesday prior to and up into Thanksgiving. And it is just something that I have never seen before. And we agreed off air is something that we both will never watch again. We will have no need to watch this at all. So let's get into it. This was directed, if and I use the term loosely,
Loosely.
directed by Jordan Downey. And I think it's almost a joke that it has five different writers. You know,
I,
at the very end of the film, there was additional writers, and there was like four different people. Now, if you know anything about this film, if you've seen it or you've heard anything about it, it's only 70 minutes long. So it's really short. Why do they need five different writers? I don't know. But they have five different writers. And I don't even know where to start with this thing. Uh,
so it's essentially I would say it's a kind of paint by numbers slasher movie.
yeah.
It's got the tropes, and you kind of mentioned this in your notes. It's kind of got like the jock, the stoner guy, the nerd, the oversexed girl, the innocent and pure final girl. Um, and you know, it's kind of got like
I think
a
yeah, that's a good description, like a paint by numbers.
paint by numbers slasher film. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing innovative here.
Oh God, no. There's
Uh,
nothing at all like that.
there's an ancient curse, and of course, it has to take place on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, just
Um,
so many tropes like that. There's a road trip and that they have car trouble. There's some sort of loner seeking out the killer. It's just left and right, just paint by numbers. You
right,
know, how many different things in horror can we put together in this 70-minute film?
70-minute film.
That is the most irreverent thing maybe that I've ever seen. Definitely that's connected to Thanksgiving. You know, you can find lots of movies on the Hallmark Channel or whatever, you know, family oriented. This is the exact opposite of all of those things. I
Yeah,
mean,
so the killer is a turkey, a
a demonic
foul-mouthed
turkey.
demonic turkey who was brought to inception in the 1600s or so. Or was it it was like, yeah, it was like the original Thanksgiving. So it was at the 1500s, 1600s. And even then he kind of talks like with a modern accent, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, so as we were saying, the we're having technical difficulties tonight, everybody, but the killer is this foul-mouthed turkey, demonic turkey, created by Native Americans, which you start getting into this offensive stuff here with the, you know, of course, it's always the Native Americans' fault. They're always creating some sort of curse, and they're cursing the white man. And
within the first minute, I think it happens.
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
well
it's shocking.
the opening shot of the movie is a
Um,
woman's nipple. I mean, not spoilers here because it's literally the first thing you see.
it's
Um,
actually they advertise that on the cover of I saw it. It's like, oh my God, this is what you put on the physical media cover. Just within it says within the first minute, and it's like, oh my God. So I mean, they're really not trying to try. They're really not pulling any punches. I mean,
no,
it hits you over the head. It
yeah,
is just shocking from the first second.
yeah. So it's like you said, it's supposed to be like this black comedy, almost like a spoof of slasher films because it's a puppet turkey who curses
Not a
and has
particularly good puppet either.
not no. Um, And like you said in the notes, it's kind of like got this like Freddy Krueger sort of thing where he's like got the one liners and the witty retorts and
Oh yeah, it's so Freddy Krueger.
yeah, and it doesn't come off well.
No.
Um, and it's one of those movies where I still recommend people watch it. I think it's good for a laugh. Uh, it's only 70 minutes, so it's a little over an hour of your time. And I think if you cut the credits out, it's probably not even that long.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's definitely less. But just fair warning though, the 70 minutes actually it drags. For a
yeah,
movie that is so short, it actually drags in some places, and that's just another shocking element to it.
yeah, it's like watching a really bad Mystery Science Theater 3000 episode just without the witty jokes and
Yeah,
commentary over it, and you just kind of have to suffer through the movie. There was one
right.
part, I guess, like in the third act, that had me chuckling because it was so stupid. It's kind of like this Silence of the Lamb sort of thing, and I don't want to spoil it.
Oh,
Um,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but I was watching it and I was like, all right, this is kind of it's so stupid that it's funny. And I'll give them props for that. It was probably the only time I even cracked a smile in this whole
Yeah,
movie that tries so hard to be funny.
yeah,
And that's the thing. Like you have these other, like not another scary movie or scary movie or not. I'm confusing with not another teen movie, but like scary movie, which was like a takeoff of Scream and other slasher
right.
films. And
This
those
is
are
definitely a
actually
spoof.
right. It's a spoof and it's actually funny. This is kind of like a spoof that is
But
not
just
funny.
right. It's not funny, which
No.
is
And
probably the most offensive part of it. It's not
right,
funny.
right. In this one scene, I kind of smiled and chuckled a little bit, and I was like, okay, that that's okay.
Yeah,
That kind of works.
yeah. That was okay. It would have worked if it was just like a bit, like if it was a short film, like 10
Yes.
minutes, and that was
Yeah.
the film,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would have been completely different. But I do appreciate, it's just a bunch of horror fans who basically got together. They filmed the entire movie and cut it $3,500.
Yeah.
And it shows, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. It definitely shows. Um, but the little reference to Silence of the Lambs is there. They sit down and they're really excited to sit down and watch a movie, and it's Night of the Living Dead, the original one from 68. There's all sorts of little things like that. Of course, the Freddy Krueger inspired demonic killer is there. There's so many of those things. And I think they were just having a really fun time making it. And it has varying levels of success, but I guess it was really fun for them. I mean, I hope it was really fun for them because they came back and did a sequel, and the sequel is called Thankskilling 3. So
Skipped right
no
over number
two.
two.
Yeah, they just skip over number two and they go right for Thanksgiving 3. Um, and like I said, I hope they had a good time making it. It seemed the production value seemed like something that we would have done in high school. Remember, camcorders were a big thing, and some of our friends had them, and
Mm-hmm.
and they made their own films,
Oh yeah.
and it was very much like this film that was somehow picked up and distributed to uh to all the unfortunate people who would come across it.
I guess if you want your horror movie distributed, make it about some obscure not obscure holiday, but a holiday that doesn't get a lot of horror movies made for it, like Thanksgiving. So
Exactly.
nobody steal my Arbor Day idea. Like if I start seeing horror movies for Arbor Day, I'm gonna have to get with my
Oh,
lawyers.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Like Killer Trees. I mean, where do we see Killer Trees? Let's see. The Wizard of
Wizard of
Oz.
Oz.
Harry Potter has something like that a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely there.
Yeah.
There's definitely potential for your idea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So this one I would recommend it if you want. Again, it's a little over an hour. It is on theme for Thanksgiving.
it
Very on
definitely is
theme.
on theme. Yeah.
Very on theme. A little too on the nose with the killer turkey and just some of the ways he kills people. And but it is offensive. That they're uh
In various ways. I mean, it's looking to offend a lot of different types of people.
yeah, and
So you
I'm
have to have a
all
high tolerance.
yeah, and I'm all for like having a sense of humor and not being too easily offended. And that's what humor is. Humor is meant to offend you. Whatever, whoever you're, the joke is making fun of, it's supposed to um, be like a lighthearted poking at you and making you laugh. And this, I think, goes a little too far sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
And I see what they were trying to do, but they went a little too mean spirited a few
Yeah.
times, and I think that just because again, like I don't offend easily. I love all the old Mel Brooks movies, and
Hmm.
again, I think our current culture is just to be offended by everything and then go on Twitter and complain and try to cancel
Right.
people, and it's ridiculous because if something is meant to be a joke, it's meant to be a joke. It's not there to harm anybody. But this
Right.
movie gets a little again, like you said, this seems like a bunch of people who got together and wanted to make a movie, and they all had a great time, and they were probably stoned, and all of these things were probably hilarious to them. But like I said, there was like that one scene that made me laugh a little bit, but the rest of the movie
Right.
just falls completely flat, and it's just the lines are delivered terribly, the acting is awful.
Oh yeah, I don't know that we could call it acting at all. It's just,
Yeah,
ugh.
it's like someone reading off a cue card and not even
Yeah,
reading very well. Just,
no,
oh, this is my line. Hello. Okay, we are going to go get that turkey now. Like it's literally
yeah,
that bad sometimes where
it's
it's
pretty bad.
and you could forgive a lot of these other things if the jokes were good, if the acting was
Yeah, I
decent.
agree.
You could kind of say, okay, well, at least they got good actors. At least the jokes were funny. It's a terrible movie, but at least it was funny. It just fails kind of on all fronts. But
Yeah.
and yeah, I'll never watch it again. I have no
Oh
need to
no,
watch it again. But
no,
I
no
don't
way.
regret watching it. I think it's one of those things where
That's what it
yeah,
was
it's what it was. So if you
for
want to,
70 minutes.
yeah, a stupid Thanksgiving horror movie, check it out. It's only an hour, so
And there's not a lot of Thanksgiving horror, so you're kind of forced to watch it
yeah,
if you want something on holiday.
yeah. And there's a sequel if you're interested, which I didn't even want. Like Tubi
Oh
wanted to
no,
like
no,
autoplay it like right after, and I was like, nope. I'm like
nope.
going for my Roku remote, like no,
Yeah, no,
not
not gonna
watching the
happen.
sequel. No.
No.
But yeah,
So going from very low budget, $3,500 to a very high budget for a horror movie, $15 million, is a completely different film. But our next film that we're going to be talking about is Thanksgiving from 2023, directed by Eli Roth. And this, I have to say, is a fantastic horror movie.
this one hits the marks. Again, not high cinema by any means,
Oh
but
no,
very
not
few
like
horror
that.
movies are. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, Eli Roth, Patrick Dempsey stars,
stars. Yeah,
um, and just a really good sort of gory slasher. Again, it doesn't reinvent the wheel. There's nothing real innovative here. It's very much like along the lines of like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
yeah.
I kept
Which
getting
is,
that.
of course, is a we talked about that previously,
Mm-hmm.
and that is definitely a holiday themed horror movie for the 4th of
4th of July.
July,
Yep.
and it really fits in. Like if you put Black Christmas, 1974, Halloween, 1978, My Bloody Valentine, 1981, Silent Night, Deadly Night, April Fool's Day, I Know What You Did Last Summer, you'll get this one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely not reinventing the wheel, but the film that he puts together is really um, really fits in with those other films. So if you like any of those other films, uh, pop this one in on
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving, maybe even after you listen to the podcast, and enjoy yourself for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, this one I was vaguely aware of. I knew it came out last year.
Hmm.
Um, and maybe that's kind of what sparked our conversations. Like, oh, we should do Thanksgiving horror movies because that was coming out. I
Yeah, it
hadn't
was
seen it
just sort of a
until
throwaway idea.
yeah, but I hadn't seen it until just for this show. So I just watched it like yesterday.
Yeah.
Um, and was pleasantly surprised. Like again, it doesn't do anything new. It's a lot of the same tropes, but I think it kind of shows just the very big difference between Thankskilling, which again has all the same tropes,
Oh yeah, all of them.
versus this movie, which again has kind of the jock, has the good girl, it has the other friends, who all kind of fit into those roles, and of course the parents, and but it's definitely got a I Know What You Did Last Summer vibe. I mean, it starts on Black Friday, and there's a riot. This takes place in Plymouth, Massachusetts, too. So again tying
Right.
into like pilgrims.
So it has that historical element, and the killer is based on John Carver, who was the first governor of the Plymouth community.
Hmm.
So it's really creating something sort of special. Even in the costume, it looks like a mashup between Michael Myers, I thought, and Ghostface
Hmm.
Killer.
Oh,
You
definitely.
know, you put those two together and you get the killer in Thanksgiving. And that's why another reason, and Scream isn't one of these holiday themed movies, but it certainly fits in as far as the attitude goes. And if we could just go back to that time period, Scream, and then I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I Know What You Did Last Summer had this whole parade sequence, which is fantastic, featuring one Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Hmm.
Can't mention her enough. I just started rewatching Buffy, so she's very much on my mind recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Thanksgiving also has a very prominent parade scene.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of throwbacks, nothing really new, but that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to this film.
Right. There's because there's a lot of that, like who the real killer is, and the movie tries to misdirect you many times. And is it this guy? Is it that guy? Is it this woman? Is it
Yeah.
that person?
And
Um,
and very much in the ways that Scream did it too, like with specific like type of work boot
mhm.
that came up in Scream for the first time. It's like, wow, that's it's been a long time coming. I haven't seen that in a while. Which of course that came from the town that hated sundown. Is that what that movie is called? Do you know
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
movie from the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually where it came from,
Hmm.
the work boot type of shot,
Oh, okay.
and the misdirection and the mystery element of it. Um, so lots of different connections. One of them, of course, is the social commentary against consumerism,
Hmm.
because as you were saying, there's a riot and in which people die on Black Friday, and then a year later, that inciting incident causes other incidents. You know, it's a sort of revenge killing, and no one really knows who it is.
Right.
So there's that mystery element, and the horror elements, and of course the slasher elements. So it's doing a lot of things, and all of which I really enjoyed. Oh, I forgot to write it down in the notes. Um, no spoilers, but the one new thing that I've never seen before, all I will say is that I will never think of a trampoline in the same way.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Uh,
all I'm going to say.
yeah, I was gonna say that a lot of the gore and the killings and just there's a lot in this movie that uh it's not new in what happens, but it's new in how it happens.
How
There's
it
a lot of
happens.
like
Yeah.
creative deaths and creative gore and creative scares.
There's
Um,
a pizza oven at one point. I won't say
yeah,
anything else about that, but
yeah, but it was just the trampoline.
the
Uh,
trampoline was brutal.
yeah, yeah. So just really, and I'm not really a big slasher guy. Like I'm not really into the slash. Like me. Like I'm more into like Blair Witch Project or like it's all about what you don't see. The
Right.
haunting. Um, so slasher films don't really do it for me. I have the ones that I like, the original Halloween, the original Nightmare on Elm Street, usually the originals. By the time they get to like 5 or 6 or 7, they're more just black comedies at that point. Because yeah, Freddy Krueger is more like a stand-up comedian who then just kills the teenagers versus
He's the
this
turkey in
shadowy,
Thankskilling.
yeah.
That's
And
who
in
he
the first
is.
movie, he's this shadowy sort of demon evil spirit, but by like 4 or 5, he's just a stand-up comedian who kills teenagers.
Yeah. Until Wes Craven, speaking of Wes Craven, until he comes back into the picture with a new nightmare.
Right,
And then he's that evil, mean-spirited demon again.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so slasher films don't usually appeal to me, but
That's funny
I
because I'm looking at a whole stack over here that the slashers, I have all the slashers,
yeah, and I mean,
including like 5, 6, 7, 8,
to each
all of
their
them.
own, and people can get into them or whatever, and I enjoy them for what they are. It's not something, if I want to sit down and be scared, like I'm not going to watch Friday the 13th Part 6. It's just not going to do it for me. Um,
I really
but this
like
movie,
6, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the first supernatural one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I really like that one. But, you don't have to.
No, no,
Um,
but I thought a lot of the gore and the killings in this were really interesting, unique, and just well done. Like, so if you're into slasher films, like, because even I was like, there were certain points, it's like, oof, and
Yeah,
I usually don't react to that type of stuff, but there were a
right.
few
I
times
did.
I could like feel myself cringing and be like, ooh, God, that's nasty.
Yeah, if I could say, I love the Final Destination movies. I don't know if you like them. I love those films. It kind of has that vibe with the killings because
Yeah,
Eli Roth is looking for new ways to kill people
right,
in the film.
right.
So as far as the structure goes, the structure isn't very different from a lot of these other films that we mentioned. But he is looking to do new, interesting things, or not even new things, but just sort of an interesting take on it.
Yeah, and that's I'll reiterate what I said earlier. Like, it doesn't do anything. It's not what it does, it's how it does it. Because
Yeah,
what it does is very similar to a lot of movies that came before, but it does things in a different way. So it's familiar, but it's also, you don't feel like you're just rewatching a rehash of something,
right.
I guess is the best way I could put it. So I enjoyed this
That's a
one. I
good way
thought
to
this
put
was
it.
really good.
Yeah.
Um, but
Unlike Thanksgiving, very
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. Gina Gershon was in it briefly.
Very briefly, and that's such a shame because she's so good.
Hmm.
I was glad to see her in it, even for the little role that she had.
Yeah.
Um, but there's a lot of good, interesting things in it. Oh, right. Let me go back to the notes. I forgot about the notes. So extra points, and we both noticed this, and we both talked about it off air. Extra points for referencing Ronnie James Dio, the
Oh
one and
yeah.
only, replacing Ozzy Osbourne in Black Sabbath. And when the character said that, I like lost my mind because if anybody knows the two of us, we love Ronnie James Dio, we love Black Sabbath. And in fact, you like Black Sabbath more with Ronnie James Dio than with Ozzy, which is, if you say that in certain company, you're going to get into a fight.
Oh, I know. And yeah. So not to say that I don't like Ozzy, because I really do, but
Same.
I just love the Dio stuff a bit better. Because yeah, the Ozzy stuff is really good, especially some of the earlier stuff where it's more bluesy,
Yeah.
just like that heavy bluesy type stuff or psychedelic type stuff. Planet Caravan is awesome, and uh,
Amazing song.
yeah, but the Dio stuff, I like the Dio stuff better. Evil little elf, I think the guy called him in the movie, right?
Yeah.
All 5 foot nothing of him.
Yeah.
Uh,
That was funny. And of course, I think we've seen. Definitely you have seen Black Sabbath more with Ronnie James Dio than with Ozzy Osbourne.
yeah, I think we've seen them with Ozzy twice, and with
Yeah,
Dio it was like 3 or 4 times, I
three
think,
or four
if not
times. Yeah.
more.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So props. Very nice. Another thing, same guy had a Krull poster in his room, and I love the film Krull. So cheers to that. And another really funny thing, this guy had a Heather Locklear pink bikini poster that you had in your room
I
in high
did.
school.
I did.
I don't know where they found it. It's like a vintage poster. And there it was, right up on the wall. It's like, oh my God. It
Did
was
you say
like
Heather
being
Locklear?
uh Heather
Heather
Thomas.
Thomas. Yeah.
Heather
So Heather
Thomas. So
Thomas from The
sorry.
Fall Guy. Not that,
Yeah.
not to put Heather Locklear down, because she was also,
Oh no.
uh,
Both
yeah,
very
up there.
beautiful women.
Yeah, but it was the Heather Thomas pink
It was the
bikini.
Heather Thomas. That's right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had that in my room for many years.
For many years, I remember.
Yeah.
Uh, so there were a lot of references, a lot of that throwback stuff. So an appreciation for the 80s and which is really where the slashers really got going. I mean, it started earlier, obviously, back in the 70s, but they really took off in the 80s. So any references to the 80s like that, I found was cool and thematic. It fit.
Yeah, and I think horror since then has kind of played it safe.
Hmm.
Because I think a lot of those old slasher films, they were very sort of exploitative. It was
Oh yeah.
teenagers, mostly girls, getting killed, getting murdered by some psychotic dude. And there was a lot of nudity. It was always the teens having sex, so there was always naked girls and being killed. Just the
Oh
teens
yeah.
being killed. And this
That was
movie sort of,
another.
yeah, this one eschews the nudity a little bit, but the gore
Yeah.
goes full on, and it's just
Oh yeah,
something
full
I
on.
haven't seen in a lot in many years, and it did remind me of the '80s type stuff where it was just that sort of gratuitous gore. Um,
Yeah,
so
definitely. That's why I think the Final Destination movies also like to do that. Um, and I saw, like we said before, a lot of I Know What You Did Last Summer that
mhm.
had that vibe too, which of course that was a throwback, even though it came out in 97, right after Scream, that was a throwback to 80s horror movies, to
Oh yeah,
slasher movies. So that vibe is, alive and well in Thanksgiving, and I'm grateful. I will definitely watch Thanksgiving again, probably every year for Thanksgiving.
yeah, that was a good one. So um, if you do watch Thankskilling, this is a
Oh
good
God.
palate cleanser to kind of
Yeah.
um, get that bad
I
taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, in fact, I did watch them in that order. So I watched Deadly Friend. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm so happy to watch this. Then I watched Thanksgiving and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done to myself? The brain cells that I have just lost, it
Yeah, we
will
were
never come
texting each
back.
other. I think I texted you and I was like,
Yeah, you
dude,
did.
I'm 10 minutes in and oh Lord, like what have we done to ourselves?
Yeah, and I
10
watched it right
minutes.
after that. Right, 10 minutes. I
10 minutes
remember
in.
it's like you sent all these texts. I'm like, oh my God. And then I watched it a short while after it, after that. But late at night, I'm like, what am I doing to myself? I should just go to bed, you know, do something better for myself as a person, as a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and then I saw Thanksgiving, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So, hey, this is a proper film.
Yes. Yes. Much better.
Yeah. So now we come to our sort of final two films. Alien Abduction Incident in Lake Country
County.
County. Oh,
County. Yeah.
yeah. Bad lighting in here by the moors. Oh, yes, County. I see now. And this is a remake. This is a science fiction alien abduction film, and it's a remake of the McPherson tape from 1989. Both of them directed by Dean
Alioto.
Aliato. Aliotto, yeah. I'm not
Alioto.
sure how you say his name. Um, And this caused quite the controversy back in 1989 and again in 1998 when it was shown on UPN, if you remember the UPN. Is the UPN network still around?
No, I don't think so. I don't know what they turned into, but
CW? Is that what it is now?
no, CW was something else. Because here in New York
Oh,
City,
right.
UPN was Channel 9, it was
Right.
WWOR, and then Channel
Yeah.
9 turned into UPN, Channel 11, WPIX, that turned into the WB.
The WB.
So I don't know what happened to UPN if they, yeah, I haven't had regular TV in years. I just do
Too
the
many
streaming
acronyms.
stuff.
Yeah, same.
Um, so I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, it was on you because UPN had like all those we. I mean, it had like the best thing it had was probably like Star Trek Voyager,
Yeah.
and then it was like Homeboys from Outer Space, and it just had like real
Is that a
bad.
real thing? Or are you making a joke? I'm not
No,
sure.
that's an actual TV show that was on UPN. It was called
Yikes.
Homeboys from Outer Space. Yeah.
Wow.
So UPN was
Okay.
really. I mean, people think the WB is bad, because of all the like teen soap opera drama shows and
Yeah. Dawson's Creek.
yeah, I mean, and that's back when WB was still pretty good, like
Yeah.
Smallville and Dawson's Creek. I mean, nowadays it's just
Buffy,
Buffy.
Angel.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. UPN was kind of like the
Let's try not to be offensive, but
yeah, I'm trying. Yeah,
I think I know what you mean.
yeah,
It
it was
was
just
just
it was kind of
terrible.
like the Wish version, just the knockoff version of the WB, and it was
Yeah.
just terrible. It was terrible,
Mm.
a terrible like independent network. And like I said, the only good thing they really had was Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it showed this in 1989. It showed, well, no, 1998. The
And that
remake
was
was
the UPN, right?
that
The
was the
remake was
UPN.
shown on UPN.
Yeah. So the original film, the McPherson tape, and these movies went through like different titles. Like I think the first one was like UFO abduction, and
Yeah.
then
They
people
keep on
started
changing
calling
the
it
titles.
right because and they called it the McPherson tape, even though the family was like the Van Hees family.
Yeah. Something like that.
But
Heats?
people, yeah, something like
Two
Van Hees.
E's.
Yeah,
Something like that. The Van
two,
Heats.
yeah, something like that. Um, and then it got remade, and the family was the McPhersons, but it wasn't called the McPherson tapes anymore. It was called
Right.
Alien Abduction Incident in Lake County. The first movie uh, takes place in Connecticut uh, on October 8th, I believe. And they mention
Yeah.
Halloween a lot, or a few times at least. And it is
That
much more
it's right, it's coming up. But they're celebrating a little girl's birthday. So, I mean, it's not related to Thanksgiving at all. But the second one, the remake, happens on Thanksgiving night.
right. And the story is basically the same. It's a family has gathered. It's a mother who's, and the father, her husband has recently died.
Mhm.
Her three sons, her granddaughter, and like various girlfriends. I think there's a sister.
Yeah.
And so the basic premise of both movies, because again, one's a remake, uh, they're having this party. One is on the girl's birthday, the other one is on Thanksgiving night. During Thanksgiving dinner, the power goes out. So the three boys, three sons go out, and boys, they're adults, but her three boys go out to kind of figure out what's been going on.
They're investigating a strange noise, right? It's that sort
Yeah.
of thing. The
And then they,
power's out. It's like, oh, we have to check this out.
right. So they go out to check out the power, and they're, they're talking and being brothers and teasing each other. And they see a strange light and they go investigate, and
Bad idea.
bad idea. It's a, no spoilers here because the movie's called Alien Abduction or UFO Alien Abduction. So they
Yeah,
see
it's
a
pretty clear what
UFO.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah. They see a UFO and there's these three aliens kind of milling about. Um, and of course, the guys are freaking out and they make enough noise where the aliens see them, and then
Of
the
course.
aliens follow them back home. So they got to run home and defend the house. And, they get their shotguns, and things just devolve from there. It's both movies are found footage,
Very quickly. Yeah.
and it's the trope of the teenager who's got his new camcorder and doesn't want to put it down, which you see in a lot of found footage movies. That's just, you have to have a reason to film. So
Hmm.
it's the teenager who's got the camcorder and doesn't want to stop filming, and
Kind of
things
like
just,
what we did in high school. Same
yes,
sort of the same time period. In fact, 89,
yeah,
90.
yeah, and things just go downhill and get creepy and scary from there. Uh, both movies have their merits, so I do recommend people watch both of them. But it's really the second one that takes place on Thanksgiving, and that's more, you have the Thanksgiving vibe to it. So
Yeah, there's a big turkey. They're always talk about eating. Even when these strange things start happening, it's like, oh, we should have something to eat. It's like,
yeah,
oh, man, okay. And of course, that would be me because, strange things always happen.
right.
You got to keep on eating,
Got to keep
What
eating.
else can you do?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what shocked me about this more than anything was two things.
Mhm.
So my introduction to found footage came a year after the UPN airing of Alien Abduction with Blair Witch. But this movie actually came out a year before.
Yep.
And originally, the original film came out 9 years before this. So I didn't know that they were making found footage films in the late 80s. Like I had no idea about this. So I'm just sitting at my computer. Both of them are available free, by the way, on YouTube.
Hmm.
Sitting on my computer, just shocked. It's like, oh my God, I had no idea. Like I'm not a big found footage fan. I know that you much more than me, just like I like slashers much
Oh
more than
yeah.
you. So we both have our individual tastes, but like I was just impressed that people were doing this in 89. They did it again in 98 before Blair Witch hit. And Blair Witch hit, and it was so popular that people just like started making found footage movies left and right.
Yeah, and
And
there's dozens of them out, hundreds of them out there. I mean, and Jake and I took like a few years. We were just like every weekend he'd come over, we'd just binge watch any found footage movies we could watch, and 99.9% of them are just terrible, bad acting, bad whatever, bad story. But you do find some gems here and there. And this
yeah, you
was,
told me about a Bigfoot one. I forget what episode that was, but you talked about it with I think Scott,
oh yeah,
and you
probably
mentioned it.
there's two of them, Willow Creek and
It was Willow
Exists.
Creek.
There's two of them that are really good.
Yeah.
And Exists was actually Eduardo Sanchez directed
Oh,
that one. He was from Blair Witch Project, so
yeah. Oh, there you go.
knows his found footage. So that was also a really good one. But Jake and I had kind of stumbled upon these just in our quest to find more found
Yeah, right.
footage. We would just Google like what's a good, like, and I would just tell him like, what are you in the mood for tonight? You want to do like UFOs? Do you want to do Bigfoot? Do you want to do ghosts? And one weekend I was like, yeah, let's do UFOs. So I Googled it and like found the McPherson tape and we watched it. And then I found out that there was this remake and we watched Incident in Lake County. And they're good. I think they're effective for found footage movies. Uh, the remake clearly has a much bigger budget.
Yeah.
Um, it's better lit. The sound quality is better.
That was my biggest issue with the McPherson tape. I would say it's very short.
Mm-hmm.
I think also like 70 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little over an hour.
Yeah. And I would say half of the time you can't see a thing. It's so frustrating.
It
Um,
is.
I mean, I'm exaggerating. It's not half the time, but it's just so poorly lit that is really frustrating. And that creates its own sort of horror because you don't know what's lurking in the shadows and things like that. And I get that. But the remake it's in somebody's, like beautiful home that's perfectly lit. At points they have candles on and things like that, but you can see everything that's happening. And I actually like that one better.
Yeah, and that's why I recommend people watch both because I think it's the same basic story, but I think if you watch both, they kind of fill in the blanks for each other. And
Yeah.
the first one looks much more realistic. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I think if you're into found footage horror and you want to sort of get lost in it and not get taken out of the story at all, the first one is for you. It is frustrating though
Yeah.
because the sound quality is bad, the lighting is bad. There's a lot of things you're not seeing, but it comes across as realistic. It almost, and I don't know if it was, but it looks like one single continuous shot. There's nothing ever that
Yeah.
really pauses. So you say, oh, here's where they cut it, and now they're going to pick up again. Whereas the second one, there's a lot of that. And I think part of
Yeah.
that was because it was on UPN, it was on network television. They
Yeah.
had to do
So they
commercial
had
breaks.
commercial breaks. Yeah.
And they would have like fake experts sort of chime in at every commercial break and like talk about, oh, this footage is a hoax. And other people like, oh, no, this is totally real. And the first movie doesn't have that. It's just
No,
this
not
sort
at
of
all.
stream of consciousness. Just
Yeah.
this kid is record. He presses record, and an hour and 7 minutes later, the movie's over, and you can't really see any edits. So I think it's effective in that way.
Yeah.
The aliens don't look as real; they look kind of cheap,
No.
you know. Um, but I think it's a really good flick. The remake is longer. It's I think closer to like an hour and 40 minutes,
Yeah.
little over an hour
Hour
and a half.
32, I think,
Something
something
like
like that.
that.
Something like
Yeah, a
that.
little
I
over an
didn't
hour.
write it down.
Yeah, but it's definitely longer. There's a little bit more story added to the family.
Hmm.
Where like the sister brings home her boyfriend for the first time, and there's this whole subtext of racism with the older
Yeah.
brother, and eventually they kind of have to work together because the aliens are trying to get into the house. Uh, you do see things better. The aliens look better. The UFO looks better. Uh, it is much higher budget. But I think the second one, there's more things to take you out of the found footage aspect of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the experts or naysayers, all those little segments, I could do without those segments.
Yeah.
I would have been fine without it because otherwise it sort of feels like Signs, M. Night Shyamalan's
Mm-hmm.
film from, I think, 4 years later, something like that. It's like something very close. You can see that this, I don't know if M. Night ever saw this one, but you can see where it's progressing down that sort of line, you know. Um, so I agree with you on all the points. I do like the second one better though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it just flows better as a film.
Yeah.
I think it's creepier because the aliens do look real or more real than in the first. The first one, there's
Yeah,
a
you could
reason why they
tell.
don't show them too much, because
Yeah.
they just look very cheap and fake. Um, so
Just
yeah, the
like
second
Halloween
one,
costumes that you can get.
yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, the second one is better. I think it's just better acted. It's got a better flow. You can see more. It takes place on Thanksgiving, so it fits in with this episode here. Uh,
Right. Which is
and
the most
and
important thing.
most important thing. But this does sort of mirror an alleged real world encounter, the Hopkinsville Goblins, which happened in God. I should let me pull this up because I
Can
forget.
I just say so far, it sounds terrifying.
Yeah, so it's basically this family in Hopkinsville. I believe it was Kentucky. Kentucky, yeah. Let me just get the year because I forget what year this happened in. And I will link to this down below. 1955. So it's this family um, in Kentucky, and similar thing. I mean, a lot of family members live there because it's Kentucky in the 50s, and you have a lot of family living together in one house. So there's brothers, there's nieces and nephews, and uh, but essentially one of the brothers goes out one night and he sees a light in the
Hmm.
sky, and he calls people out, oh, there's a UFO. And then later, and I'll do another episode. I don't want to get too deep into this incident because we're talking about the movies.
Right.
But this alleged real life incident. So after this UFO is spotted, now the family is besieged by what they called goblins, these small alien like creatures with big ears, big eyes, almost look like frog people from
Hmm.
some of the descriptions. I'll see if I can throw up like a sketch up here that they sketched, but very similar. They had to grab their shotguns. They were shooting at these things from the windows. They were trying to come in the house. They could hear them on the roof. They could hear them running around outside. And when they would shoot these things, they would tumble back, like the shotgun would hit them and they would tumble, and then they'd get up and keep running. And this apparently went on all night. They eventually escaped the house into a truck, got the sheriff. The sheriff came back. Of course, by the time the sheriff gets to the house, there's no aliens, there's no UFO, but there was actually shotgun blasts and holes in the side of the house, in the doors. So like they were shooting. It's like this family saw something. And whether they were just spooked by normal animals, again, the skeptics will say, oh, they saw owls or they saw raccoons or, but, you're a guy who has multiple shotguns living in Kentucky in the 1950s. You know what a raccoon is. I'm sorry. Like
Yes.
you're not going to get spooked by a raccoon or an owl.
No.
Um,
No.
so I will link to this story in the description so anybody can check it out. But it's a very well known sort of UFO alien invasion story because this family was like besieged by these aliens, and these movies were kind of taking that inspiration of just this family in a desolate house. It's not in the city; they're kind of out in the country, up on a mountain or whatever, and they're being besieged by these aliens. And yeah, just very creepy stuff.
Can I say that it sounds terrifying? It really does. I mean, I'm not joking. It sounds terrifying.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where like if you're living out in the sticks and you're just far from civilization and it's nighttime and things are trying to get into your house and they're small and they're alien looking and your shotgun is doing nothing to them except just knocking them over and they get back up again and run at you, like
That is
it.
crazy.
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
these movies are not as blatant as that. Like you don't, these are like the typical gray aliens, and
Mhm.
they're much more subtle with what they do, versus the siege at Hopkinsville where they were trying to get in the house and everything. Um,
Right.
but yeah, still very effective movies, I feel. And if you like found footage, they're really good. And the second one takes place on Thanksgiving, so um, but yeah, real cool creep factors. I like the second one better too. After
Oh, okay.
rewatching them, I thought I liked the
Yeah.
first one better, but on rewatch,
Yeah. That was the impression I got when we were talking
yeah, I initially liked
via
the first
text.
one. Yeah. But I
Yeah.
initially liked the first one better. And I just thought it was a more effective film. And I think in some ways it is,
Mm.
but I think the remake is better. That's my revised opinion after watching them
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, you're entitled.
yeah.
People grow and change.
Yeah.
Of course, your opinions are going to grow and change. So there you have it. Those are the 4 or 5 movies that we're going to be talking about. Many recommendations out there if
Yeah.
anyone's interested.
For
Some good, some
Thanksgiving.
not so good. We try to pick a lot of different genres again. We have found footage, we have big Hollywood, we have cult classic. I think we can say that Deadly Friend is a cult classic, and then there's Thanksgiving, which
Thanksgiving.
I think defies genre because it would have to be better in order to fit into a genre. I don't know.
Yeah, it tries to do a lot of things and does none of them particularly well.
Right.
But still worth a watch, I think. Just one time in your life. Just take an hour and watch it and let us know what you guys think. But it's not good.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not good.
it's not good. It's
Um,
not good.
you had an honorable mention. Did you want to talk about that
Oh
before
yeah,
we go?
I did have an honorable mention. This movie that I really like called The Stepfather, which is really more of a thriller more than a horror movie, although, fine line between those two things. And it stars Terry O'Quinn, which many people will know from Lost. Fantastic actor. And if you want some fall vibes, watch this movie. I mean, it is beautiful little neighborhood. The trees are changing colors. Uh, Leaves are blowing all over the place. It's just beautiful looking film. And it's only one day in a much longer season is happens in the film, which happens to be Thanksgiving. So it doesn't quite fit into what it is that we're talking about. But probably I would say in some ways the best movie that we didn't talk about today, you know. So it kind of fits. Check it out. My daughter always says that it sounds like a bad knockoff of The Godfather, which I find very funny, and I agree. I mean, they really should have workshopped that name. Yeah, right. It's like, oh, you have The Godfather. It's like, oh, this is the stepfather. It's like, oh, what a downgrade. So lots of good films
It's
out
almost like a
there.
Pornhub parody.
Oh yeah, my God.
Stuck in the dryer, stepfather.
Yeah, that is terrible. Great film. Check it out.
Yeah, so there's our Thanksgiving horror movies. There's not many out there.
No,
There were some
slim
other ones,
pickings.
like we did our research, and there were some other ones, but I don't think we really wanted to touch them because they're either, again, like Thanksgiving is very subtly mentioned, or they're just just not movies that appealed to us. Maybe we can hit those next year, but I
Yeah, I
think,
mean, well, I think we're going to keep on looking.
yeah.
But these were the ones that came to mind immediately.
Hmm.
So
And I think a good cross section because you got like
yeah,
the
I agree.
robotic horror, technology gone awry.
Hmm.
You have the slasher films. You have the cursed animal coming back for you, and
Demonic animal,
yeah,
who knows what it is.
and then you have extraterrestrials, terrorizing a family,
Yeah.
all
So
on Thanksgiving. So
yeah, good cross section.
yes,
We really tried hard for this episode because
we
we had
did.
to. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of films out there um, that are set on Halloween. Not Halloween, sorry, Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
So
Halloween has a lot, but
yeah, that one has
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. So maybe we'll do this again next year and just pick different movies.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe we can find like two or three, maybe.
yeah, yeah.
We'll see.
There's not many out there though. But
No.
yeah, no, I'm glad we did this though because I liked seeing Deadly Friend again. I liked seeing Thanksgiving because I'd never seen
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
and the Alien Abduction movies were good. And Thanksgiving is a film that was made.
Yes,
That's
that's a perfect description.
yes, it is a
It is
movie
a
that
film that
exists.
was made. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
All right, all right, brother. Well, thank you for joining me once again. It's been too long,
Yeah, thank you
um,
for having me on
but I
again.
know we both got stuff going on in our personal lives that makes it
Yeah.
difficult at times. And
Hmm.
again, it's why I don't have a lot of guests on these days. It's just I never know when or if I can record, and there's lots of times I'm recording like first thing in the morning or 10 o'clock at night or like just weird
Yeah.
hours and just to get an episode out. So I appreciate you making the time. We had some interruptions and technical glitches tonight, but we made it work. So
So many interruptions and technical glitches. And that happens every time. Not so much the interruptions, but the technical glitches. Always something is happening when I'm talking to you
oh, there's always like
somewhere around this house.
something falls or something. There's some weird noise in your apartment. Today
Nobody's home.
it was before
Yeah.
we started recording, but like your whole room, like, well, not your room, but the screen was like
Whole
all red.
thing, all red.
And it was like, why do I look like this? And as soon as you said that, it like cleared up.
It just cleared up. It just went
It
away.
went
Like,
away.
what was that?
But it stuck around for, I mean, it wasn't like momentary. Like the whole time you were trying to log in and everything, like I could see
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
and we just said hello, and then you were like, I don't know why I look like this. Does it look red to you? And then you were like, why is it doing this? And just
And
went away.
nothing changed. The lighting in this room didn't change. There was nothing
No,
except that it was red and then it wasn't.
yeah, very strange.
Very strange.
So yeah, we always have weird little things happen.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, nothing scary, but just there's always something.
Yeah. It's not the big face in Poltergeist that comes out at the end of the
Yeah, yeah.
closet. It's not like that.
No,
Nothing like that.
thankfully,
Just thankfully. Yeah.
yeah,
Just little things. Enough.
enough.
My hand looks webbed here.
Oh, it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the. Well, you don't have a fake background. I have a fake background.
Yeah,
You
I'm on the
in
moors.
you're on the moors of
Yeah.
northern England there.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, I know you got to run, so thank you for this,
Yeah, thank
and
you for
I
having me
hope
again.
everybody enjoyed our Thanksgiving horror movies.
And
And
I hope everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving.
yes, definitely. Happy Turkey Day, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgivings with your families. And we haven't had it yet because we're recording from the past.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is weird, right?
We are in the past.
We're in the past. All right, we're just being silly now.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well,
All
thanks
right.
again.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
hopefully I'll have you back on soon because we have other
Sure.
stuff we want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Once again, I want to thank my buddy John for coming on the show. He always comes through in a pinch, and love discussing movies with him and Thanksgiving horror movies. Who knew that was a thing? I really didn't. Some of these movies I was familiar with, and it just didn't even really register that they were Thanksgiving movies. Like Deadly Friend, I'd seen that when I was a kid, but it never really registered. And it's not a Thanksgiving movie per se, but these all take place on Thanksgiving. So if you guys are, resting today after binging on turkey and stuffing and potatoes and all that good stuff from yesterday, and you want to watch some creepy stuff tonight, those are our recommendations. And Thankskilling, I still recommend it. Watch it once. You never have to watch it again. It's ridiculous. There's one good scene in it that'll make you chuckle, I think. But the others are all really good. I'm going to link to all of them down in the description below so you guys can find them. Some of them are like on Tubi, some of them are on YouTube. Deadly Friend, I think, is on Amazon Prime. You can rent it for like $4. It's worth it. It's a really good movie. But I'm going to link to all those down below. And with that, we're going to call it an episode. Question everything, everybody. And this week, my advice is question why Thankskilling was made. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I kind of dig it, but I'm a Mystery Science Theater fan. I love bad movies. Even this one was a little bit tough for me. It's tough for me to recommend it. But if you like bad movies, if you want to just, blow an hour of your time, you could do worse. Not much, but you could do worse. But the other movies are all great. So check those out. Links are all below. And until next time, everybody, rock and roll. Happy Thanksgiving.